this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Spectrum Podcast, where we explore the vibrant tapestry of human experiences. Each week, we delve into the myriad colors of life, from the deeply personal to the universally profound. Join us as we celebrate diversity in all its forms, inviting guests from around the world to share their stories, insights, and perspectives. Together, we'll discover the beauty of difference and the common threads that connect us all. Get ready to expand your horizons and embrace the full spectrum of human experience. This is the Spectrum Podcast. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Spectrum Podcast. Presented by Kennedy Lucas and Associates. Ariana Grande addresses hateful messages in response to new album. Ariana Grande has asked fans to stop posting hateful messages on social media in response to her new album, Eternal Sunshine. The deeply personal project comes after Grande and Dalton Gomez split following 2 years of marriage. She's since begun seeing her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater. I just wanted to say, anyone that is sending a hateful message to the people in my life based on your interpretation of this album, she wrote on her Instagram story. It is not supporting me and is absolutely doing the polar opposite of what I would ever encourage. And is also entirely misinterpreting the intention behind the music. I ask that you please do not. It is not how to support me. It is the opposite. Although this album captures a lot of painful moments, it also is woven together with a through line of deep, sincere love. If you cannot hear that, please listen more closely. Grande dropped Eternal Sunshine on Friday as her first full album since her 2020 project, Positions. That effort spent 2 weeks atop the Billboard 200 albums chart. Eternal Sunshine is off to a strong start as well, becoming the most streamed album in a single day of 2024. She described the project as kind of a concept album comprising different heightened pieces of the same story, of the same experience after sharing the lead single, Yes, and that song debuted atop the Billboard Hot 100. Check out Grande's latest post on Instagram below.
Fortnite's new season is delayed due to tech issues. As is always the case between seasons, Epic Games took Fortnite offline early on Friday to perform some maintenance and get the game ready for all the new stuff fans are about to enjoy. While the downtime typically lasts a few hours, Epic has encountered a problem that's forcing it to delay the start of Chapter 5 Season 2. Hey everyone, we encountered an unexpected issue during our maintenance, and we need to extend downtime at least 8 additional hours, a 9:14 a.m. et post on the Fortnite Status X account thread. We apologize for making everyone wait longer than usual to drop into Chapter 5 Season 2 of Battle Royale. The team is working through this as quickly as possible, and we'll provide another update when we have more info. Epic provided an update at 4 p.m., letting fans know that work to bring the game back online was ongoing. Players will be able to pre-download an updated version of v29.00 in approximately 5 hours. It said, "We're grateful for your patience and can't wait for everyone to be able to jump in." That means players won't be able to hop into the new season until at least 9 p.m., meaning Fortnite will have been offline for around 18 hours. The delay is a bit of a pity as the new season looks pretty compelling. It's called Myths and Mortals, and it's focused on Greek gods. Along with earning skins for the likes of Aphrodite, Medusa and Poseidon through the Battle Pass, you can wield mythical powers such as Zeus's lightning bolts and the wings of Icarus. Epic has added some intriguing new areas to the island as well, including Mount Olympus and Hades' underworld. A spooky-looking version of the river Styx, which is guarded by Cerberus, leads up to the latter.
Pac-12 women's basketball is having a moment. The conference tournament has served as a showcase for a group of teams, headlined by Stanford and USC, that look poised to make a Final Four run. Wouldn't it be fun to have 4 teams in the Final Four? Tara Vanderveer asked. Put us all in different brackets, and we'll be cheering for them. The legendary Stanford Cardinal coach grinned as she joked about the strength of the Pac-12. But her players looked a tad less enthused. It was hard to fault them, they'd spent the last 3 months in the grinding competition of the conference. Who'd volunteer for more of that in the Final Four? Plus, as Stanford's senior forward Cameron Brink pointed out, veteran members of this squad have already played one national championship game against a conference foe. But the point felt well taken. The Pac-12 has been remarkably strong this year. The conference tournament semifinals on Friday only underscored that. It was a showcase of 4 programs that all look ready to make deep runs, potentially including up to, yes, the Final Four. I think we've seen everything, and this group of teams does that to you, said Oregon State Beavers coach Scott Rueck. And the fact that we played the toughest schedule you could imagine within our conference this year has tested us. Number 2 Stanford dug out of a double-digit hole in the first half in order to beat number 13 Oregon State by a score of 66-57. But that drama was quickly surpassed by the next game, featuring the crosstown rival number 5 USC Trojans and number 7 UCLA Bruins, who'd split their season competition at 1 game apiece. The rubber match required not 1 round of overtime, but 2. On the strength of a gritty 33-point, 10-rebound effort from Phenom Juju Watkins, USC won 80-70. The rankings here speak for themselves. No other conference has 3 women's teams in the top 10 or 4 in the top 15. Or, for that matter, 6 in the top 25. Their performances on Friday accentuated that. Watch out for any, or all, of these teams later in March. This tournament week has felt heavy with history. It's the last hurrah for the Pac-12, with a majority of its member schools set to scatter this summer as part of a formal dismantling, and if that loss is felt keenly in many sports, it's especially so in women's basketball, which has a long, proud tradition in the conference. This final tourney has appropriately been full of nostalgia. Every new moment can be a vehicle for reflection on a past one. But anyone too caught up in reminiscing got a rejoinder on Friday. There's plenty to appreciate right here in the present, down to the very last frenetic, double overtime moments of semifinal tournament play. This league, it is a gauntlet, said number 22 Utah Utes coach Lynn Roberts, whose team may be a tourney threat in its own right. This is my 9th year in it. This is the best it's ever been top to bottom. The coaching is elite. The players are unbelievable. It's disappointing that it's going away, that this is the last one, but it's been an honor. USC and UCLA's extra time thriller felt like it could be a Final Four game, said Trojans coach Lindsey Gottlieb. It was not always pretty. It was, in fact, more consistently the opposite, with some missed opportunities down the stretch and physical, bracing play on both sides. Multiple key players were in foul trouble before the end of regulation. Given multiple opportunities to draw up a potentially final, game-winning play, UCLA twice failed to get a shot off in time against USC's defense. And freshman star Watkins, perhaps the single most dynamic player in the conference, had to be helped off the court after rolling an ankle in the first overtime, only to check back in a few moments later to help ice the victory. The intensity felt befitting a date far later in the month. We know that they bring a lot, Watkins said. We bring a lot, too. All 4 of Friday's programs should be hosting March Madness games in 2 weeks. Oregon State, with its size and punishing defense, is likely to be a number 3 seed. The other 3 here all have a case to lead a region of the bracket. Stanford has a clear path to a number 1 seed. UCLA had been projected to receive one before Friday, but now, that spot might belong to USC. Or, if you ask them, perhaps it doesn't have to be a choice between the 2 of them. I think that what you've seen is that we have 3 number 1 seeds in this conference, UCLA coach Corey Close said. Point blank. Her counterpart with the Trojans agreed. If you're watching Pac-12 basketball and the gauntlet that we've all gone through, I don't think it's unfathomable at all to think there could be 3 1 seeds, Gottlieb said. I don't know how the committee will see it, but I don't think it's too far-fetched. It's a long shot. But it's a credit to the conference that such a case is even remotely plausible.
Base M3 MacBook Air offers significantly faster SSD speeds than before. Apple released the new M3 MacBook Air this week, with faster performance, Wi-Fi 6E, and support for dual external displays. As it turns out, Apple also addressed another problem that plagued the previous generation base model MacBook Air: SSD storage speeds. The backstory here is that base model M2 MacBook Air with 256GB of storage offered slower SSD speeds than higher-tier configurations. This was due to the fact that the base model used one 256GB storage chip, rather than two 128GB storage chips. It was a regression from the base M1 MacBook Air, which used two 128GB storage chips. As first spotted by our friend Gregory McFadden on Twitter, the new M3 MacBook Air offers significantly faster SSD speeds than the M2 MacBook Air before it. A teardown performed by Max Tech on YouTube confirms that this is because Apple is now using two 128GB storage chips for the base model MacBook Air, rather than one single 256GB module. As such, the M3 MacBook Air's two 128GB NAND chips can process tasks in parallel, significantly increasing data transfer speeds. Testing performed by Max Tech revealed that the M3 MacBook Air can hit write speeds of 2,108 megabytes per second, up from the base M2 MacBook Air speeds of 1,584 megabytes per second. For read speeds, the M2 MacBook Air hit 1,576 megabytes per second, while the M3 MacBook Air hit 2,880 megabytes per second. This suggests that the M3 MacBook Air features SSD write speeds that are roughly 33% faster and read speeds that are around 82% faster. These speeds match and sometimes exceed the speeds of the M1 MacBook Air. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Spectrum Podcast. We hope our exploration of diverse perspectives and ideas has sparked curiosity and understanding within you. Remember, life is a spectrum of experiences, and embracing this diversity can lead us to a more compassionate and interconnected world. Join us next time as we continue to journey through the many colors of life. Until then, stay curious, stay open, and keep exploring the spectrum.